Hey guys, welcome back. Today in this video we are going to see about the Appian task management. So while building a task workflow, there are generally two options available in Appian. One is a process based task and then there is the database task. Now in this video we are going to see that how both these two approaches work, and based on these approaches you can also decide for your workflow as well, like which is going to be a better choice. So let's get started onto that. So in order to understand the workflow for the task, I have tried to create an insurance POC here. So you can see some of the KPIs are available here, like total claims, approved claims, and total value of the claims. And then there is a grid in which we can see all the claims. And after that you can see here there are two actions available. One action is new insurance claim database based approach, and the other action is present here, which is a process based approach. And we will see that how the task workflow would work in both the approaches. And this is all configured on the customer claim side. After that there is a approver, first level of approver, which is a new adjuster side, and then there is a second level of approver, that is a manager review here. And we will see that when we try to submit a form, how both these approaches would work. The very first approach that we are going to take here is the process based approach. When the customer will come here and click on new claim, then he would be presented with a interface here to fill the details here. So let's try to fill some data. So I'm just filling here, name of the claimant is John. He will select a policy and then he will apply for a particular amount. Let's say that process based approach I'm giving. Click on next here, and here they would have to submit a document. So I've just pasted a document here and I try to click on create. So once I have submitted the form, then what actually happened? Let's try to see in the process instances. Let me go to the process workflow and let's see that how the task got created for the adjuster, which is the first level of approver, and then the manager is there, which is a second level of approver here. And you can see here this is the process for that. So here we have submitted the claim form. After that it has written the data into the claim record, and see how process based task will work here. Once you submit the claim here, then it will come for the adjuster review, and once the adjuster review will review the task, he would either approve or reject the claim. So based on that the status would be updated here, and after that if it is approved it will go for manager review, otherwise it will just end the workflow. So let's see in the adjuster here. So in the adjuster side as well, I have tried to create a database task and a process based task as well. So as of now you can see here this is our claim which we have just now submitted. So this is the today's date which is coming here, and let's go on to the task. When you open the task, you can see here there are some buttons pre-configured automatically by Appian. For example, accept task, go back, or reassign the task. So these are the features which are inbuilt in the Appian's task approach. You don't have to create some custom functionality for that. And how this data, how I am able to view this task here. So for that particular purpose, whatever the task which has been assigned here, we have assigned to a particular group called adjuster here, and based on that group we have built a process report for that. So you can see here if you edit the context of the report, you will see that the report context is based on this particular group here, and here we are getting all the tasks, and based on that here we are showing the task. If I click on accept the task, this will be accepted to me and nobody else can work on that task. Now I can either approve or reject the workflow as well. Let's say like I don't want to take, by mistake I claim the task or I accepted the task, I can reassign the task back to the adjuster group as well. Let's say like no, I don't want to work on this task. I have assigned the task back to the adjuster and it works flawlessly. So these are the advantages of the process based task. We don't have to configure any custom functionality for that. Now let's see the database approach once. When you try to submit a form, same form we will try to submit John Doe once again, and just click on next here. Let me upload a file and click on create. Once I try to click on create here, so let's see that in the database what has happened. So in the database, first of all, it has tried to create a record here. So two records would be created here. If you go in the history tab, first of all, my record, what I have tried to submit. So John Doe 2 I have submitted, what is the policy, the claim amount, and the database task. And here you can see a task has also been created. So what I'm doing here is, when I'm trying to submit the form, I'm creating a task for that. So for that particular purpose, in my record type, I have created a insurance claim task, like what is the name of the task, who is the assigned user, who is the assigned group, what is the step ID, and what is the current status of the task. And you can see here this has one-to-many relation with claim task submission here. And let's see how does the database task will look like. I will go to the adjuster here. So you can see here a new claim would be come for me. So see, this is the 3423. And you can see here I have built a custom action called as claim task adjuster review here. So why we have built that? Because we don't have this accept and rejects functionality what Appian used to give. So I will just click on claim task. Once I have clicked on the claim task, you can see here the assignee has been assigned to myself, and then we can proceed on to submit the task here. So I can just open the task, I can click on approve, and I will just write it here, approve. Once I try to approve the task, then see what happens here. If you go in the process, first of all, what we will try to do, existing task status, we try to update the status, and then we try to create a new task for the manager here. So let's see how it has worked. So let me just try to refresh this, and if you see here, my task has been completed here. The status is now complete, and in the process a new task would be created for the manager. So you can see in the, this is a new task which has been created here, which is claim ID 8, and there is no IDPK as of now present. And is manager review, this is the custom name we have given. As of now, no assigned user is there, and it is assigned to the manager group, and step ID is 3 because that is the last step. Now let's go into our manager side and let's see the task here. And if you see the task for the managers one, so you can see here the latest task has come up here, which is a claim ID 8, and as of now no assigned user is there. I will accept the task. Once I accepted it, if you see, my name is populating here, and now I can do the manager review for that as well. So if I click on approve and submit, this task will get completed here, and a new process instance would be, you can see here, it will get triggered. It has updated the claim status here, and it has written in the task. So you can see here in the history, one record only we have, ID is 8, and it has been modified by this one. Status has become complete here. So that was about the database approach. What would happen if I try to accept this task and I will try to approve it directly from here? As of now, you can see it is in the adjuster review. I will go to my site and I will just submit this action. Once I submit this action, click on refresh here, and you can see it will go and update the status. It will check whether it has been approved or not. So yes, it has been approved here, and then it will create a task for the manager here. If I go onto the site for this one, in the process task, you can see here one task has been created for the manager. And in between you can notice that I don't care about the database structure, like what can I do for the task, what is the assigned user group, what is the step ID, the task name. These all things I don't have to worry about. Directly it is assigning the task to the group. And what managers can do here, they can directly go to that particular task here and they can accept on this task, or let's say like I don't want to work, they can reject. It will remove from their list and it will go back into the queue as well. Again they can come here and let's say like they want to accept this task and they want to work on that. So they will just try to approve it, and I will just click on submit button here. Once I click on the submit button, you can see it has updated the status and the event has ended here. So we have seen here two kind of approaches which have been done here, and we have created one task for the John Doe and then one for John Doe 2. One was a process based, another was a database, and both of them have been approved and submitted, and you have seen both the approaches how it will work. So I have tried to put out some important points which can be very helpful in your understanding as well. First of all, we saw the process driven task. How it works? First of all, tasks are part of the process model, queried using query process analytics. So in the process task, we are creating a process report and querying the data and then showing that data onto our site. After that, What are the features of the process driven approach? Inbuilt task lifecycle is there. You can accept the task, you don't have to build any custom, you can reject it, you can reassign it, you can escalate it, you can handle exceptions, everything you can handle because that is already given by Appian. You don't have to reinvent anything here. Built-in task locking to avoid conflicts means two persons cannot work on the same task if it is accepted by me. Cleaner and easy to understand design. You can see in the process approach, like this is how the BPM, like a life cycle used to work. Everything has been denoted by a particular nodes here, so it becomes easy to understand as well. And what are the limitations? See here, auditing requires separate storage database. So for that particular purpose, after completing the status here, you would have to store some data as well in the database. And next point is may face performance or scalability issues with thousands of active tasks. Let's say like there are 10,000 or 100,000 tasks active in the system, and they are like let's say like 6 months, 8 months or 1 year pending for approval or something like this. Then it can create a huge performance issue as well if you have such a huge number of tasks. Now we have seen the database task as well. Database task was simple and straightforward. Only like a write to database nodes will be always present there. So let's see, tasks are represented as rows in the database tables. For each task, one row would get created in the database table. Actions are triggered through the related actions or interfaces. We have seen we have related action for all of the task here. So if I go in the database task, you can see there are particular action you would have to create. For each particular action, you would have to create a related action here. After that, it is highly flexible, support ad hoc execution. So it is very scalable. The better your database design, the better you can handle it as well. Stores all task related data in database, easier auditing and reporting. Every task details is already present in the database. You can easily do auditing or reporting as well based on that. And typically implemented with short-lived processes. So you can say these are related action. If I try to open it, it will open. If I close it, it will close. Nothing will happen. So no task needs to be remain. Adjuster, when the manager or adjuster will try to review the task, then only task will get executed. So there are all short-lived processes here. After that, what are the limitations? Requires complex database design to cover all edge case scenarios. You would have to deal with multiple tables to cover multiple edge case scenarios as well in this database approach of task. Must rebuild standard features, and see these are the standard like escalation, what will happen, task assignment, notification, how it will go, because these things are automatically handled by Appian. And how would be the claim and release of task would handle, everything needs to be handled separately here. Requires custom task locking and unlocking feature. Obviously when you try to accept a task in Appian's approach, it got accepted, it gets accepted here anytime we can like just go and accept a task. But in database approach, you would have to implement custom locking feature as well for that. So that was the overview about the task management approaches in Appian. So that was all for now, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this, like which approach generally you try to prefer when you try to create a task workflow in Appian. That was all for now, guys. Thank you.